Does the Quran deny that Jesus was crucified? And what does that mean for Christianity? And does it instruct God to cast terror into the hearts of non-believers? Two verses at the intersection of theology and violence. Quran 4:157 and 8:12. Here is the transliteration of verse 4:157. وَقَوْلِهِمْ إِنَّ قَتَلْنَا لِمَسَّاهَا سَبْنَ مَرْيَمَ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ وَمَا قَتَلُهُ وَمَا صَلَبُهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ اخْتَلَفُوا فِيهِ لَفِي شَكٍّ مِّنْهُ مَا لَهُمْ بِهِ مِنْ عِلْمٍ إِلَّا اتِّبَاعَ الظَّنِّ وَمَا قَتَلُهُ يَقْرَانًا. The most common English rendering of this verse is, "They said, we killed the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, the messenger of God. But they did not kill him, and they did not crucify him, though it was made to appear so to them." This is the verse that directly denies the crucifixion of Jesus. There is no softer way to put it, and this series will not try to soften it. The verse reports the claim of a group, identified in context as certain leaders, that they killed Jesus, the Messiah, son of Mary, the messenger of God. It then directly contradicts that claim. They did not kill him, and they did not crucify him. But it adds a phrase that has generated 14 centuries of debate. Walakin shubiha lahum. But it was made to appear so to them. This phrase is the theological heart of the verse. Shubiha lahum, from the root shbih, meaning to resemble or appear, is in the passive voice. The verse does not say who caused the appearance. It does not explain the mechanism. It simply asserts that what the observers saw was not what actually happened to Jesus. This has produced a wide range of interpretations within Islamic scholarship. The three main classical positions are: first, that another person was substituted for Jesus and crucified in his place; second, that Jesus was somehow concealed or transformed; third, a minority but scholarly position, that the verse refers only to the failure of the plan to kill Jesus, and that his survival is what appeared otherwise to his enemies. Watch how translators handle the grammatically unusual passive construction, shubiha lahum. Pickthall. But it appeared so unto them. Yusuf Ali. But so it was made to appear to them. Sahih International. But another was made to resemble him to them. Note the word another added in brackets, not present in the Arabic. Muhammad Assad. But it only seemed to them as if it had been so. Abd al-Halim. Though it was made to appear like that to them. Khattab. But it appeared to them as if he had. Notice that Sahih International inserts the substitution theory directly into the translation, even though the Arabic does not contain it. Muhammad Assad's rendering deliberately leaves the mechanism unspecified, staying closer to the actual Arabic ambiguity. The honest position is that the text itself does not resolve the question of what happened. For Christians, the crucifixion and resurrection are the foundation of the faith. The Quran's denial is therefore not a minor doctrinal disagreement. It strikes at the core of Christian belief. This is worth acknowledging directly. The Quran and the Christian Gospels cannot both be fully correct on this point. This is a genuine theological disagreement between two traditions, not a misunderstanding that better translation can resolve. What this series can offer is context. The Quran's position on Jesus is complex and largely respectful. It affirms his virgin birth, calls him the Messiah and a word from God, and describes him as one of the greatest prophets. The disagreement is not about whether Jesus mattered. It is about what happened to him and what it means. Muslim scholar Mahmoud Ayub has argued that the Quran's point may be theological rather than strictly historical, asserting the impossibility that God would abandon his messenger to death at the hands of his enemies, rather than making a specific historical claim about the mechanics of the event. The verse, with its deliberately unspecified passive construction, leaves more open than it closes. Now to Quran 8:12. The transliteration reads, إِذْ يُوحِي رَبُّكَ إِلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ أَنَّ مَعَكُمْ فَثَبِّتُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا سَأُلْقِي فِي قُلُوبِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا الرُّعْبَ فَاضْرِبُوا فَوْقَ الْأَعْنَاقِ وَاضْرِبُوا مِنْهُمْ كُلَّ بَنَانٍ. The most common English rendering of this verse is, I will cast terror into the hearts of those who disbelieve, so strike them upon the necks and strike from them every fingertip. Read without context, this sounds like a divine instruction to terrorize and mutilate non-believers. Let us look at what is actually happening in this verse. The verse is spoken in the voice of God, addressing angels during the Battle of Badr. It contains three elements: a message of support to the believers, a statement about casting fear into the hearts of those who disbelieve, and a battlefield instruction. Each requires examination. The word translated as terror is al-rub, from the root b, meaning fear, dread, or awe. It is a natural psychological state, not the modern political concept of terrorism. The verse is describing the fear that comes over combatants facing a force they believe has divine support, not an instruction to commit acts of terror against civilians. Critically, the verse is addressed to angels, malaika, not to Muslims. God is speaking to angelic forces, describing what he will do to support the Muslim army at Badr. This is not an instruction given to human beings. It is a divine narration of angelic intervention in one specific historical battle. Reading this verse as a standing instruction to Muslims to terrorize non-believers requires ignoring the grammatical address of the verse entirely, which is directed at angels, not humans, and ignoring the specific historical context of the Battle of Badr in 624 CE. Now look at how translators handle the word rub, and notice the split between fear and terror. Pickthall: I will throw fear into the hearts of those who disbelieve. Yusuf Ali: I will instill terror into the hearts of the unbelievers. Sahih International: I will cast terror into the hearts of those who disbelieved. Muhammad Assad: I shall cast terror into the hearts of those who are bent on denying the truth. Abdul Halim: I will put fear into the hearts of the disbelievers. Khattab: I will cast horror into the hearts of the disbelievers. Pickthall and Abdul Halim use fear, which better reflects the classical Arabic meaning of a psychological state. Yusuf Ali, Sahih International, and Assad use terror, a word that in the post-9/11 context carries unavoidable associations with political violence that the original Arabic does not carry. Abdul Halim's choice of fear is the more linguistically accurate rendering. Surah Al-Anfal was revealed entirely in the context of the Battle of Badr, and verse 861, which in the same chapter, states explicitly, if they incline toward peace, incline toward it too, and put your trust in God. A chapter used to justify perpetual warfare contains within itself an explicit instruction to pursue peace when the other side offers it. Anyone who cites 812 as a mandate for terrorism while ignoring 861 is not reading the Quran. They are selecting from it 5 episodes, 10 verses, and in every case the same finding. The text is more complex, more historically embedded, and more internally consistent than a single out-of-context line suggests. Verse 4, 157 marks a genuine theological disagreement between Islam and Christianity, one that deserves honest acknowledgement, not avoidance. Verse 812 describes battlefield psychology in a specific 7th century engagement, addressed to angels, not to Muslims, and followed in the same chapter by an instruction to pursue peace. Context is not an excuse. It is the beginning of understanding. All sources are linked below. Thank you for watching this series and for asking the harder questions.